Hey guys, it's operations time. This time it's going to be a little bit different here. I always say that, I think. But anyway, it is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a little bit behind the scenes sort of action here. We're going to start out with firing up the layout here, and we're actually going to go over to the staging section. We're going to grab our hauler, get stuff set up over there. The hauler is going to run into the layout and into the yard, and then we got to also move a few cars around and or at least locomotives around in the yard over here. This is sort of behind the scenes, sort of unscripted, as unscripted as I can get here. So let's get started here. I've got the ESU cab controller fired up over here. We're gonna turn our power on, and first thing we're gonna do over here, I'll try to make sure I can get this on camera, is I usually silence all of my other locomotives. All these guys sitting over there, they're gonna start, you know, making popping noises and hissing noises and all sorts of stuff like that. So I usually silence them because the first thing we're gonna be running is our hauler. So right here we've got our LOA 39R. I'm gonna go hit the F8 button right there. That's the one that silences them all. And just kind of go through here, the yard consist. We're gonna go ahead and silence that guy. Let's see who else is on the layout here. Number 700 somewhere. That's one of our locals there. Someplace here. Where are you? Come on. Probably way up there. I think there he is. Number 700. Okay, we'll silence them so they don't make a bunch of racket. And then the UP 9710, that's our guy that we're going to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and hit the brakes on him. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background, just making sure he's there. We'll get him fired up. And let's go ahead and come over here. This might be a little bit darker right here, but I got the door opened up so we can get a little bit of light here. And we'll get this guy fired up. And like I said, this is going to be a little bit behind the scenes sort of action here. I'm making all sorts of racket here. So the first thing I'm going to do, and sorry for the darkness here, maybe I'll try to lighten it up in post-processing, but I'm basically going to take all of these cars out. I've got two staging tracks over here, and I'm going to take every single one of these cars out. So we gotta move these three guys. So what I'm going to do is make sure my little turnout right here is set up. We're going to go ahead and disconnect, and of course I don't have a skewer here, so I'm going to kind of cheat, but this is staging, right? We'll get these guys out of here. And actually, let's see, we're gonna have to get them out quite a bit, because make sure my turnout is good right there, because we got to get the locomotive over here first. And again, I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit, so we're gonna slide this guy out of here, and behind the scenes, this is what happens before I start playing around and making really awesome scripted kind of videos. We'll move these guys back, but I'm going to go ahead and hook them up to the rest of the cars right there. Hopefully, I think we're kind of derailed right there on one of these guys. Alright, there we go. Alright, looking good. Let's go ahead and run this guy back here. And have you guys ever done that? You just kind of push your cars around and stuff like that, especially the locomotives with, you know, I don't know, I wonder if somebody would get all bent out of shape thinking I'm doing something to the wheels, to the tracks or something like that. All right, I think we're good. I think we're connected over there. Let's grab our controller here. And while this guy is going to be sitting here, like I said, we're going to run him into the yard. But the way that main line works, as you can see, comes down here, runs right by the yard, goes all the way down there, and then connects up to the main line in the layout, and then comes back around. So that's what we got to do. But like I said, we got a couple cars here. These guys are sitting on my incoming track. So this track right here is the incoming track that I use for haulers coming in. So we're going to fire these guys up and just get them out of the way. And that is our local. So I'm going to go ahead and go to LOA 39R right there. We'll take the sound off, brakes on. We're going to not silence them, but I have a button there where it's like kind of goes to quieter. I forgot what the percentage is, but it's a very smaller percentage for the sound right there. All right, we'll get them fired up. And we'll get them guys out of the way. We'll put all the lights on. Not that we need to. While he's firing up over here, we're going to have to run the hauler in, which means I'm going to flip my little switch right here, which is really dark, but that activates this ridiculous thing and switches this thing over. But like I said, this turnout's kind of jacked up, so is this thing right here, so it doesn't work very well. I got to kind of fiddle with it and make sure that it's on the main line, which is this. This is the yard lead, because we're going to run this all the way around. Just make sure it's nice and good right there. It's all right with trains coming this way, because even if the points are kind of off there, you know, they sort of straighten out. That's the guy that I gotta replace, or at least I'm planning to replace, with a tortoise. All right, there we go. We got that done. So we're gonna get this car out of the way. These guys came in from the I think the last video that I did, and we're just gonna move them. We're gonna move those guys out, say maybe track 1 or 2 over there. So get these guys going here. Brakes off. Let's go. And again, they came in on that track because that's the incoming track, whether they're coming in from the layout or whether it's the hauler coming in the opposite direction. That's normally where I drop cars off, and then the yard little consist there will do the dirty work of getting them moved around and stuff like that. All right, looking good right there. We'll get all this set up. We'll just go to track 1. That's easy. And again, the only reason I'm moving this guy is because I didn't clean him up with the yard guys. Did not move that gondola to the departure track since the last video, because I've been doing other stuff, you know. So then anyway, I thought it'd be kind of interesting just to do a video like this, sort of you know, behind the scenes, you know. Or maybe I should call it reality model railroading here. This is actually what it looks like when I'm not trying to make a pretty video. All right, right there is good. We're gonna go ahead and shut those guys down. So let's see if I can keep this on camera. Lights off, and I have a button there that shuts it down. All right, I think we're ready to go here. So we're gonna jump over here to our local, or not our local, sorry, our hauler. I'll go over to him and we'll get all the lights on, get them going in the right direction. There we go. Now the interesting thing with this Dash 9 is I think the sound is a little bit lower to start out with, even though I have the sound settings for all my locomotives, I think exact, you know, meaning the max volume, and then I have like the lower volume setting button. I don't know if it's just the Dash 9 is quieter than like the, you know, GP39 or GP40. But this is actually the full volume. This is, well, it's not the full volume that's the decoder is capable of. I have it set to, I think, 160 for the max volume. from, you know, a scale of 0 to 255. And then, like I said, the secondary volume, which is the lower volume, I'll just give you an example here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the button right here, and you'll see how much lower it is. And you can see it's actually pretty low for this GP, or for this Dash 9. And like I said, I think I might crank it up. I don't know if it's just the sound profile or what the Dash 9s actually look like. They just seem to be a little bit quieter than all of the other locomotives. So I almost never use that reduced sound level for this guy. I always just leave him on the full sound level, which again isn't even the full sound level capable of the decoder. Alright, we'll watch this guy go around. So this is the way I run my hauler. Right? He doesn't just come right into the yard. He goes down the main line here. It's a little, what do you call it? I don't know, a little sleight of hand, little trick to get a little bit more run time, right? He's going to run all the way around the layout and then come into the yard. You know, sometimes I've seen other railroads where they're kind of limited on space, and I've done it here too, where you might, you know, after doing the local run and doing some pickups and stuff like that, you do a couple laps around the layout to give you a little bit of run time, you know, for like, you know, 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. Alright, so he is running his way in to the layout. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure our turnouts are set over here. So this is my little turnout here. We can have them come down the main line. This is our little cut over to the main line and do yet another loop. But we're not going to do that. So he's set to come into the yard, and I'm going to change this. It looks like, yep, right down the main line, or not the main line, but right down the arrival track there, that empty one right in the center, in between those guys. And there you can see he is coming around and should be in here pretty soon. It's a little bit of a different shot. A little behind the scenes shot. Honking for the vagrants. Alright, he's coming in the yard here, so I usually slow him down, turn off the ditch lights, and dim the headlight, which activates some of the decoder's additional little sound functions there. You get the defect detector goes off. Sometimes you get some radio calls or stuff like that. Give it some bell here as they're coming through the yard here. Alright, enough bell. Believe it or not, I use my bell quite a bit more than you see on my videos when I'm actually running. I try to stick to like prototype, you know, sort of operations, run the bell when I'm supposed to and all that kind of stuff, honk the horns when I'm supposed to. So we're going to just check my turnouts on this end while this guy slows down. Looks like we're good there, and we got to change that one over. We'll see how these guys fit into the yard. I think, let's see, and we can go ahead just a little bit more. We can unfoul that last switch right there. Yeah, we got just enough room here. One more car length. good. Let's go ahead and uncouple them. And we can move our hauler down over here on our storage track. Right there's good. Trying to balance my controller here without making it drop down onto the ground. That would not be good. I like my ESU controller because it does what I want it to do, but I do have to admit it's a little sensitive, I think. I think if you dropped it, you'd probably screw it up. So I'd like to see it be a little bit more robust, a little bit more durable. I don't know if you can get like a case for it or something, I don't know. But hey, you know, give and take with everything. There's some things that have pluses and minuses. I think that's the minus for this guy, for the ESU cab controller, is that it's a little delicate. It's like a cell phone, so you know, you don't want to drop your cell phone. Same thing with this guy, you got to kind of be careful with it. Alright, we'll park this guy over here and call it a day. That's how I run my behind the scenes hauler, at least. We'll park this guy right over here. And it's a little bit shorter video and a little bit weirder video than I normally do, but maybe I'll do another one here this weekend. We'll see. Let's go ahead and shut this guy down. Lights off. And we'll shut him down and be done with it. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, see you next time in the next operations video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, hit the bell button to get notified, hit the like button, you know all that jazz. Alright, take it easy, bye.